Now, if Persia attacked from the rear, would Greece help? In Zack Snyder's semi-animated film 300, this important historical question is decisively answered no. Athens, a hive of, quote, philosophers and boy lovers, unquote, is ready to bend the knee to the drag king of all of Persia, Xerxes. In Sparta, however, there is no word for surrender. And the king Leonidas, played by Gerard Butler, a Phantom of the Opera, leads a band of 300 soldiers to hold the line against an army of millions of Persians, as well as their camp followers, the entire cast of Fellini's last 10 movies. Meanwhile, Leonidas' Lady Queen Gorgo, played by Lena Headey, has to fight off an assault on her flanks by the leader of the Spartan defeatocrats, played by Dominic West.
You will deliver my final orders to the council with force and verve. Tell them my story. Make every Greek know what happened to you. You'll have a grand tale to tell. A tale of victory.
Victory. Yes, my lord.
Spartans! Ready your breakfast and eat hearty. For tonight, we dine in hell!
And afterwards, we'll go to the Hell Plaza Cineplex and see 300. That's an uncharacteristically quiet moment in this film, which is really mostly about the pleasures of sticking a sword in a foreigner's guts. I think you can see from that, though, the incredible visual staticness of it, how it looks basically like a Franklin plate that somebody animated, how the skies look like those glass painted effects of 1916 cinema, of Gerard Butler and his 48 teeth, which is actually kind of the best thing about the movie. Mort, what did you think?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the quietness of this scene, because that is the only quiet moment in this film.
Yeah.
Everyone is yelling. This is a high testosterone film.
Yeah, so they say. Yeah.
The history, forget about it.
Yeah.
Thermopylae is not on the sea; it is way inland.
Yeah, you've been there. You were saying.
Yes, I've been there. I've actually walked into the pass, which I was on a local bus going towards Thessalonica, and though it's not a stop, the buses automatically stop, and all the Greek people just pile out, run across the road, and go into the defile, as they say, because it is such a historical moment. And it is a great moment.
And no Persians have invaded through there since.
No, they have not. They've gone the other way.
That's true.
But this is a film that can be cited for so many things. I don't know where to start. I mean, I was appalled by this film.
Yeah.
First of all, Athens was totally behind what the Spartans were doing. They had started the league in which they were going to join all the city-states together.
Yeah.
So there was no problem. This could have had a lot of things like Leonidas's, well, I'm not going to go into it, but there was an oracle that said that if he was going to save Sparta, he had to sacrifice his life. And that they don't get into this. It would have given this a real aura of tragedy.
It would have. It would give it of duty and of the reverence in which the gods were held. All the stuff that you used to get in Sinbad movies so well, really. And I think instead what you have here is just it just shows how far how rebarbative things have gotten. I mean, just the fact that we're looking towards the worst aspects of the Spartans as they're I mean, they were really in a lot of ways. If you want to look back to history, of noble people, look back to the Athenians.
Right. This was not the Spartans.
Yeah.
This was not the Persians.
Yeah.
Period.
Right.
But you're hitting on something that I want to.
That's
talk
where the
about.
nerve got hit for me.
You're hitting on something I want to talk about. This was really a video game.
Yeah.
But it was a new kind of video game that has come along since 9/11.
Right.
And it is putting on this country on a war footing and calling for young men to see the glory and wonder of battle. It played like an advertisement for the armed forces.
And then as now such art is made by non-combatives, people that they've never heard a shot fired in anger.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, for that reason alone, I was appalled. I remember when I used to go to films like this, but not nearly as
worked up
as this. I would come out with my friends and we'd start to fight on the street immediately. Within a day, we would have wooden swords and we'd be clobbering each other, right? Well, and that's what it does.
Okay, it's material that didn't have to be this stupid anyway.
Yes.